Hello, welcome or welcome back. This is the second filming for the Daily Dharma today. My name's Dina. Thank you so much for joining today. And what I've done is the Daily Dharma number 1 has some channeled messages, all having to do with if we are highly attuned transmuters and alchemists, those that surround us have many subconscious things going on in their energies. And even if we're not in contact with a lot of people, those energies that are just streaming through the collective can really work their way through our energy field. And right now, it has a lot to do with Mars moving into the sign of Taurus and how that feels in the body if we have aches, pains, or even mental emotional fluctuations coming to the surface that doesn't seem to really belong to our situation per se. So let's get into the cards today. The code cards I laid out secondly, but I just think that that's a good place to start. We have number 44, Universal Love, with consciousness. So universal consciousness, unity consciousness coming through in our ability and commitment to being in contact and in touch with all of the collective vibrations, is being in flux and flow with the universal stream of consciousness. And we can call that all love, positive and negative, because what is anger but a mask for sadness quite often, or injustice, something else like that. And even those issues that people become aggressive and act in underhanded ways, that's really because these people are, generally speaking, looking for more love in their own life, and they have this misguided approach of harming before the harm comes to them. They've gotten so far down on the love quotient end of things that the fear quotient has really started to rise up in prevalence in their life. And the more that we're in contact directly with these people, or the more that we're in contact with energies that are streaming through the consciousness, which can be activated by placements in our astrological makeup, these things can really come to our awareness and need to be looked at as what they are, so that we don't get caught up in feeling that this belongs to me, because many things that are not of us or generated from us will stream through us. And so we're being told to not allow these vibrations to sit on the heart and on the body, because it's quite unhealthy. Next, we have healing with third eye chakra. So this is talking again, just like what we were just talking about, is being able to understand the difference of what is us, what is for us, and what is not ours, and what is not for us. And to be able to weigh the difference between those, because we can even talk about things like gaslighting, self-doubt, feeling that we haven't done enough, anxieties or levels of depression, like nothing really feels good anymore. The things that brought relief don't bring relief. Our comfort zone feels like anxiety type things. So the third eye chakra supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination, and our psychic powers. So there can be a little bit of a crossover between how our intuition appears and how our anxieties, fears, and imagination appears. And so if, let's say, our partner has insecurities, we might take that intuitively through our fear mind, because they're projecting fears and anxieties. We might also think, oh, well, I should be fearful and anxious because this person's unsure, then I have all these other fears that are going to rear their ugly head. And so healing our ability to weigh the pros and cons of what really is authentically us, and to look at both the facts and the potential, and where we are using too much delusion energy versus the truth of the real potentials in the situation. And then we have coherence coming lastly. Coherence is the understanding and resonant patterns. So, especially when we spend time with each other, then we become co-resonant with each other. So, like I said, you can be the most loving individual in the flow of consciousness, but because you're with that individual every day, when they go out in the world, if they're influenced psychically and unaware of it, and they bring back home all of these fears and anxieties, and then they're around you, and you are all of a sudden tuned into the fears and anxieties that don't even belong to your connection, then that can expound, and the two of you can suddenly generate issues because of not you energies residing and veiling and clouding your third eye sight and your intuitive understanding of each other. And so because of the way that humans and in all life existing in waveforms of light codes, all of these light codes are so instantaneous, faster than the speed of light. That's the way our emotional fluctuations move. But our brain and awareness is only able to clue into a certain level or depth of understanding of these, but we will instantaneously mirror what's coming at us. That's why if somebody comes at us quite aggressively, with an unchecked mind, the first impulse is to meet that aggression with, defensiveness. That's the complementary energy, or with more aggression. And so here we have passion. So the passions, this is what I was just talking about with Mars. There's more on that in the first Daily Dharma video, but the passion energy follows quite a bit with Mars and its higher octave Pluto, who, if you haven't caught any of the hubbub about that, Pluto will finally be going into Aquarius to stay for quite a long time. I think like 27 years later this year. But I mean, and to complicate matters for anybody who doesn't know astrology, Pluto has crossed over into Aquarius, but it's hitting this retrograde phase where it's going to back up a few steps into the previous sign of Capricorn for a little bit longer this year. And it's just about there. We're moving towards the first degree of Aquarius now. And so, as such a slow mover, it's going retrograde, backward motion. It's not true backward motion, but it's really moving away from that cooperative energy and looking back real quick at any type of attachment, codependence, power, control, and passion dynamics and dilemmas that have shown themselves, so that we can work through those a little bit deeper. And so in this context, as the alchemists of the collective and of our environments right now, we're being told to look at the way that other people are utilizing their own masculine energy, whether they are feminine or masculine gender or neutral, does not matter. We all have this energy that is working through our field. And that's the passion that is instantaneously recognized. It's the fiery nature within that's mirrored instantaneously between souls that is creating this coherence for good or bad, positive, negative. And so we're being told to be careful what we allow ourselves to become a portal for, because as we are these matrix beings comprised of all kinds of different carbon, all kinds of crystalline influences and energies, we are the mouthpiece, we are the birthing portal for the collective unconscious to work through us. And if we want to be a conduit of unconditional unified field love and unity consciousness and proactive co-creative passions and healing intuition versus imagination or infatuation, then understanding how these energies sit within us can help us to birth things into the right order in our lives. So yeah, it's quite critical when we put it into that kind of a context, correct? So what do we have here? We've got 10, 14, 15 cards from Dreams of Gaia deck. So since we have such complicated images, I'll just show you a lot of them and then we're going to go through individually. So we have this first one, this angelic being and some earthly animals here on the back of this turtle. That's number 24. Then we have this card showed up yesterday along with the next two. It's the 13 of Earth with this very earthly energy. We have the number 2 card from yesterday as well, this maiden card. The 7 of Water. And I want to show you this with this one as well, with the, I guess that is the 4 of Water coming up together. I think that those are representative of the subconscious energies between individuals, or it can represent the feminine and masculine subconscious urges and motives within your own alchemical makeup, working through the flow state and that the intuitive realms versus the realm of our perceptions of appearances and what the results of our subconscious are. It's kind of like, we'll get into those a little bit more in a moment. The second row, we have the first two coming up are 3 of Fire and the 8 of Fire. I love the color palette on these cards. They're very vivid and very interesting here. A cosmic fool here, turning around to look behind before going on the journey. And then this energy of this masked goddess energy, perhaps Lyran, that's been coming up quite a bit. And then we have at the center here the 10 of Air. And this one looks like a gateway. We talked about gateways and keys yesterday. You may want to go back and look at that if that's something that you are resonant with. This appears to be the portal, how other energies come through us and influence us, and then how we broadcast and show up back in the world. This is the gateway that we're crossing right now. And then the next two I want to show together, another 2 water cards showing perhaps the upgraded subconscious after the initiation of going through this gateway and acknowledging and cleansing and clearing what's coming through the portal of self. Then we come to this breakthrough energy. See how what was tethered, she's now awake. She's got her fiery mask still, but she's immersed in the waters and she's seeing them for what they are. She's awake and aware within the subconscious realms of the psychic energies and how she is, she's broken the bindings that held her back. And she's got a slight smile on her face now. So then the next one is the 10 of Water. That one was the 3, this one the 10. So this one you can see how she's kind of flowing with things. And this looks very Aquarian to me, the water bearer. And there's that little turtle down by the number and the symbol there. It's like the heart space here kind of shining down on. It's like being able to shift and flow through those energies without taking them on, and being able to listen to the divine God, goddess energy, and to utilize that energy as what we're putting out back into the psychic waters of the collective. And this little symbol here, this maiden mother crone energy here, came up yesterday with that triplicity of the feminine goddess energies. It's like it's on a string with her. So she's really engaging the fullness of her subconscious capacity in alignment with her feminine, her or his or your feminine energies moving through, the ability to see things with fresh eyes, the innocent eyes, and with that magical capacity to believe in the best in the situation, perhaps. And the ability to nurture those energies and to then release those energies and to then create a deeper understanding and wisdom that serves the collective instead of being consumed by those vibrational energies. And this appears to be something that is then allowing you to see something, whether it's this meditative practice or not. This is the 9 of water, which is actually the preceding card to this, but it's coming afterwards. So this may be before or after, during, at the same time, whatever. This appears to be a bunch of incoming light codes. We talked, I think the light codes came up in the first Daily Dharma. It was talking about how everything that is a form of light code in this waveform, whether it's high vibrational or low vibrational. Then the intervals, the waves are either, slow and really low troughs, or if they're highly excited, then they're like this, very excited vibrationally. And so to me, this is like, then that heart that was showing above, this is that energy, because I don't know if you can see it, but we have this heart here shining down, and then look at it shining down. It's like then she becomes aware of it, and her heart connects to this energy here from above. It's like higher self and earthly embodiment self here being in contact with each other. And then we have, I've already shown you the birthing card, but then check out this one here. We have another card of birthing with this cosmic egg, and we've got the 3 skulls on the bottom. It's reminding me of the maiden mother crone, the allowing of things to exist without judgment. Discernment, yes, but judgment, no. Allowing things to, whether it's good, bad, joy, or sorrow, to allow those things to arise and to pass between your hands like the grains of sand without holding on and attaching to energies, is the more Aquarian way to catch and release those emotions without being caught up in object permanence, which is, if you don't know, it's when you're developing as a baby, the attachment to and the belief that unless something is manifest and shown in front of you, these appearances, unless we can see, touch, taste, feel, and see this thing, then is it really there? If that tree falls, did it really make a noise? I guess that's more of like the Schrodinger's cat, which to me is a little bit obscure. So check it out if you don't know. But so there's this cosmic egg. So it's not only this rebirth of our own self, but for many individuals, this is an extreme activation. It's like these light codes here. It's like this is the heart. It's the inner child, the inner heart, the inner soul. And you can see the light codes here on the exterior of this auric shell, the womb, whatever, the cosmic egg, and on these light codes incoming for this individual. And so, yeah, of course, some of us may have a child coming. We may have our own children. You may have a child in spirit that is seeking a portal to you. But all of these things are shown up as also happening with your own ability to rebirth yourself from egoic creatures into multidimensional beings. And we keep talking about this convergence stuff. And then next we have this gorgeous number 1 of water with this water dragon. And if you haven't heard me talk about it, this is the year of the dragon. 2024 is an 8-year. So it's very much about our empowerment. And dragons are about protection, provision, guarding and protecting the treasures and the sanctuary of self, etc. And the way I'm seeing this is, I know that this one is a serpent energy, but I'm almost seeing this dragon as breathing these light codes down into this being as well, right? Like maybe you are the parent who is receiving these light codes into your aura while you are preparing to birth a child through this realm that is activated and attuned to the energies that you are being able to embody. And the more DNA that you can activate, the more that child, so to speak, or your brainchild, even the projects that you're generating, the more that you evolve and the higher you reach through this portal here, the greater the activation that child has or that project has from the static state. Versus if we're unhealthy, then that child is birthed in that unhealthy DNA base level, and they then activate themselves to ascend or de-evolve as they care for their sacred temple, right? So it also reminds me, the two of these together with the cosmic egg activation of the dragon, it also reminds me of, I believe it's bees, honeybees have been studied too, as they have their offspring in the, is it like, I'm thinking pupa stage. We also have this frog here in the foreground, which was reminding me of tadpole into, what is it? Oh, there's a word for it. Who cares? Poly something, the little polygot or something, the pre-toad and then into the frog toad, whatever. It's, yeah, reptilian energy, but don't be fearful about that. But it's like the bees, the honeybees, I believe that the way that it was explained to me was that all of these babies and potential offspring are actually gender neutral, and then the bee will come, the nurse ones will come, and they will harmonically, whether it's, I don't know, with wings or with their buzz or whatever they do to create their sound, with the vibrational resonance that they emit, that portal, they actually determine the sex of the offspring through that vibrational imbuing into that baby. And so it's a little different with humans, as I understand. But with this, it's like, then if they have too many drones, not enough nurses, and we've already got the queen, and do we need more of this or more of that, then they can choose how they create, and they really intend this to happen. So for some of you, this really could be a child in spirit. It's like this spirit is coming through. It's like giving me these Mother Mary vibes in the moment here, like you've been chosen to birth a certain project, ideal, or consciousness level or physical being into this world, and you're being lit up. And so look at this fiery individual. So this is like, it's like the breath, the dragon's breath. Maybe you need to do some dragon's breath breathing exercises to really call that kundalini energy into your body and vessel. Working with water and fire, the feminine, masculine, that hieros gamos energy here. It's like this individual too, I forgot to show this, is holding a scroll of knowledge here. It's like they have really been gifted something. It's like this whole process of integration of the new light codes. It's like a new mission or a new understanding, a new coherence of how you're able to work with the healing vibrations within the collective consciousness to create greater love. And whatever it is that you're birthing in this world, whether it just be your personal expression or your ability to help others to understand what they're birthing into the consciousness, it's really helping you to work very powerfully with your energy. It's like I see you graduating here. It's like a diploma and this graduation stole here. Is that what you call it? The little thing that goes around the neck with all of the accolades and things that you have achieved. And then it's like this huge activated halo energy here in these light wings. It's very, very fiery solar energy. So you may enjoy sitting in some sunshine to gather some vitamin D and some solar energy into your awareness. But yeah, I think that that's good. Underneath the deck, we had this 2 of Earth. And the 2 of Earth, look at this. This lady has eggs. She's like the earthy mother, very fertile mother energy. She's definitely not the maiden. She's got those broader hips, fuller bust, and a more solemn expression than this maiden energy that is above. So yeah, check that out. And for some of us, we may even already have children. And so this maiden energy could even represent, it could represent yourself or young people around you and how they do or do not remain accountable to their own energies, and us showing them the gateway through showing them how we become a portal to the comfort within our presence, the safety and security within our presence, or some sense of walking on eggshells if we are always caught up in the passionate, lower vibrational energies that have misaligned different aspects of self. Like if we're always busy, if we're always overworking and trying to deliver to people who can never be satisfied, that really sits in our energy. And then we come home and then we can become more demanding and less able to be satisfied with the level of engagement on whatever level with those that we care for and care for us. So at the beginning, I didn't go through the beginning cards as well as the ending ones. So this very first card seems to be talking about, there's, I don't know, it's one of the myths and legends of the earth being that the whole earth is on the back of a dragon, or excuse me, dragon, on the back of a turtle floating in the cosmos. I think it came from maybe American indigenous Indian culture. I'm not positive, but it's, to me, this was coming through as connectivity to other realms and individuals, entities, and beings on the other side of the veil having their influence. It's like this information is the information here that wants to be streamed through the consciousness, through this, both the dragon being the breath of this fire here. It stacks so nicely onto a few of these cards, and our ability to then be that earth angel here. Yeah, it's very cosmic. So it's having to do with our otherworldly, multidimensional aspects of self, our ability to connect with the collective, with the realities, with the magical and the transpersonal, with the cosmic influences, the astrology, and to look for our symbol language to speak to us on multi levels. It's not that toxic people are angry because they enjoy being angry. Anger can become addictive, but it's just like any addiction. It's only as satisfying in the moment, that brilliant release of the sugar rush, and then it's over. And the secondary card being about the earthly fertility energies, the fertility goddess coming to ask us if we if we do we accept. And then this card that was just revealed looks like the strength card. It's got this feminine empress like, and she is fully nude. And so let me just kind of give her a little modesty there. And she's shown just kicked back. She's got a little bit of a natural form, not this scrawny, skinny form that they often depict in modern art, but more Venusian, comfortable, very cuddly and squishy a bit, And so she's got these huge horns. And below that, the blind justice taking off the mask, but remaining blind with the dragonfly energy. Very interesting. So, being comfortable in our own skin, and it's this wisdom priestess energy coming through. It's like you already know the activation that you're able to receive here. And so, yeah, it's about being able to move from just being swayed by the flow and rushes around us and fooled by appearances here and others' information, but being able to break those tethers and to be able to take